this session has been very insightful because it has enabled us to discern the nexus between digital public infrastructure and digital identities. And we have seen that digital identity, apart from being an integral component of digital public infrastructure, is also a key facilitator for digitalization. That in the face of rapid digitalization, there is no need for members of the public to visit government offices to consume public services. People should be able to leverage on digital identities to consume government services from the comfort of wherever they are, if and when digital identities are in place. So that is a key output of this session, that digital identity is a critical success factor for digital transformation or digitalization. We have looked at the journey of digital identities. We have analyzed the milestones we have realized, the challenges we have faced and how to overcome those challenges, the lessons that we have learned, the gaps that we have witnessed and how to close those gaps. We have undertaken a contextual analysis of the operational environment, and we have determined that one of the emerging issues in the operational environment in the face of digitalization on one hand and digital identity on the other is the issue of data privacy and data protection. That as we digitalize our services or uptake digital identity, we must be cognizant of the fact that we must ensure data protection and data privacy. We have also gone ahead through this session, ladies and gentlemen, to look at the critical success factors for purposes of digital identity, and we have looked at effective communication. We have seen that effective communication is imperative, effective management of change is imperative, data interoperability is crucial, and there is also need for strategic agility and maneuverability in the face of dynamism in the operational environment. We have looked at the tangible benefits that would emanate from digital identity, and we have seen that one of the benefits is that digital identity will facilitate efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery. It will also help us strengthen our governance framework by eliminating revenue leakages. It will facilitate data interoperability so that same data can be utilized across different sectors within the economy. It will also be a means of ensuring that there's optimal uptake of digital public infrastructure. So one other issue that we need to take into context is that in the face of digital identity pursuit, we must be able, or we should be able, to benchmark with global best practices. But as we do this benchmarking, each and every country should be able to customize those best practices to meet their own unique situations and preferences. It's not just a question of lifting one solution from one country and thinking that it will work in another. There is need for customization of those best practices to meet the particular situation of each and every country based on its unique situation. We have also seen that there is need for all this digitalization and pursuit of digital identity to be anchored on a sound legal, policy, and regulatory framework. That is a critical success factor. Let me just mention in a nutshell our experience from the Kenyan context. Within Kenya, we are pursuing what is called the bottom-up economic transformation agenda as the policy framework of the Kenya Kwanza government under the tutelage and stewardship of His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto. And within that bottom-up economic transformation agenda, digital superhighway or digital public infrastructure is a standalone thematic area. And it was deemed so because it is not just a facilitator of everything that we are trying to do within the Kenyan economy, but it is also a critical success factor moving forward. Within that digital superhighway, we want to enhance the level of connectivity of internet, and in that vein, we are rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable. We are establishing and operationalizing 25,000 free Wi-Fi hotspots. We are also setting up a total of 1,450 digital laboratories, or digital hubs for that matter, at the lowest administrative centers within our administrative system. And it is our proposition, ladies and gentlemen, that with that digital infrastructure in place, we should be able to transfer all government services onto digital platforms. So we are pursuing digitization of all government records and digitalization of all government services. Within a span of 8 months, when we came into power, the Kenya Kwanza government came into power, led by President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, we have moved from a meager 350 government services that were technologically available on the eCitizen platform to today a total of 4,300 services which have been digitalized. And it is our target to digitalize a total of 5,000 services by 30th June this year. In that regard, or if we go that route, then it is our view that we must also pursue the digital identity for all Kenyans, so that Kenyans should be able to consume government services from the comfort of wherever they are in the face of that rapid digitalization. And based on that proposition, our target is to ensure that each and every Kenyan has got access to a digital identity by the year 2024 to facilitate optimal uptake of the digital public infrastructure that we are putting in place. Again, in the same vein, to facilitate optimal uptake of digital public infrastructure, we are pursuing a massive digital skilling program, targeting members of the public, targeting public officials, so that we have got adequate level of digital skills. We also view that digital skilling program as one of the avenues of empowering our youth by means of gainful economic activity, because we no longer have the formal employment opportunities. The space that we want to pursue is digital jobs for our youth. And we can only acquire these digital jobs for our youth through digital skilling. So we have embarked on 2 major digital skilling programs. One is called Jitume, another one is called Ajira, through which we want to facilitate our youth to exploit their potential, their skills and capabilities, and pursue digital jobs. We envision that we should be able to create a minimum of 1 million jobs for our youth within the next 2 years in the digital space. We are also pursuing digital entrepreneurship, ladies and gentlemen. Within our Konza Technopolis, which is our own version of the Silicon Savannah, we have already set up data centers. We, in our view, should be able to partner with the private sector to become manufacturers of computer software. We have also embarked, through partnership with the private sector, on a process of assembly of smart but cheap enabled telephones, which should be ready, available in the not too distant future. In fact, by end of July in the Kenyan market at a unit cost of about $40. With that rapid digitalization, again, we are pursuing e-commerce. We no longer need to have physical interface between the source of raw materials or source of products and the end user or the market. We want to leverage on this technology to facilitate e-commerce. So as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen that in the face of rapid digitalization, digital identity is imperative. We have also seen that collaboration, effective stakeholder alliances and partnerships is imperative between the public sector and the private sector. The government or the public sector for that matter, can only do so much. There needs to be enhanced levels of partnership between the public and the private sector. From the Kenyan context, of the Kenyan perspective, we look forward to working with you, not just to help us in positioning Kenya effectively as the ICT hub of Africa, but also to facilitate from a global perspective an empowered and digitalized global economy. Thank you very much.